How y'all doing? So, when I was a kid, my grandpa had a business up in Oregon, and he'd grow and sell Christmas trees with his buddy Maynard.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
Did you know Jesus called us trees?
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth. It was actually CPI.
When he grew them, he said that in Oregon, when they used to sell them,
It can lead to symptoms like
there was two kinds of people.
stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
Some people, I need to see what they're talking about now. Two kinds of people. Some people, they wanted the root ball and everything because they wanted to keep it growing. Put it in their backyard and save it every year and then have like all the Christmas trees growing. In Oregon, you could do that kind of stuff. California, I don't think they do it real. Maybe in some parts. Like Mount Shasta, that I think the Indians originally called Oregon. Anyway. So there would be like two kinds of trees. Some people would just put them outside or put them in a pot inside and then put them outside later and grow them. And some people would just, kill them and put water in them until they totally died and then burn them or whatever. And in Oregon, when you burn fires in the house, it's kind of nice to have a little Christmas tree stuff because it start up the fire real good. But of course now you gotta recycle them or something. That's what burn was. When I was a kid, we had in Oregon we had out back we had a burning thing, all the paper stuff. At the end of the day, you'd throw it in the burning bin in the back of the house and watch it burn. Just burn it up, and all the smoke would go up in the air, and that's it. It was never a big deal. So what I did was, I thought that's pretty wild because if we're trees, and Christmas trees sometimes get planted, and right now, with all the nano stuff, everybody's catching cold. Frozen Vax does what? To keep you cold or warm? But then they're going to light us up like Christmas trees? With the nano and the fire? I think maybe the whole beastly thing might be related to how Electric Avenue we are. Because if we're too beastly, it might make it so our ears can't hear and our eyes can't see. And then the Obamaflex gets us all like, cuckoo and the hypnotism. Because the founder of Obamaflex was who? And their dad wrote the book Propaganda. So Propaganda and Obama, wow, what a marriage, since he's now co-owner. So see how sometimes it just comes down to the tree. Because the Christmas tree knows that all the gold is coming. And it's all karma gold, and everybody's waiting to bow to the king. I can't even fix my hair yet, but I'm not trying to fix myself too much. I'm fixing for the king. So if I look ugly, that's because the king's gonna look good, because it's not about me, it's about him. So it's kind of entertaining to see all these people saying, hey, I do this, I do this. Well, yeah, but if you're doing it for the prince, this is no good, buddy. Because Prince brings purple rain, and we all remember that. But if that girl with the purple rain's the whole Babylon, that's not good. It's not that she was pretty, but yikes if she... So do you see what I'm saying? If you're all mixed up in all these things, you might want to... Well, cigarettes might be the least of the things. It's kind of interesting that says cigarettes keep you from catching the CV. But I don't know. But all these weird things. But if we know that king's coming, and he's raw as can be because he's like coming in that body that he was killed in with blood on his robe and everything, so it's not like he's wearing a nice suit. He's only got one piece of material, and it's probably covering this part like most men would do, which is what I think he did on the cross, if I understand what truth made it through to us. So that king, first killed, now deleted, he's coming for us, and his kingdom's here, right here on this earth. But he's coming for his own. He's not coming for half-hearted. Or these ones that are like playing musical throne. That's not how he works. He's all got it written down. So Revelation 2 should show us that when Jesus comes around, it ain't going to be about grace to you and saved by grace and all these beautiful things. Because you see, Paul wrote all that stuff after he knew he was with the king. So, yeah, if you want to talk about all Paul's beautiful things, why don't you talk about Philippians 2? It's like the erasing game. I mean, everybody wants to talk about how Jefferson only liked certain parts of the Bible. I'm starting to think he liked Matthew more than anybody, and that's why they put him down. Because that's got to be the most neglected part of the Bible I've ever seen. And I taught it to third graders. And I thought it was simple for them. But I can't even find a kindergarten class that teaches on these things, so it's kind of scary when you think about it. How things have rolled astray, and we need to like really get our sights set on why he's doing what he's doing, because all this has been a test, you see? Because all the world is a stage. But when you think about that, you got to think about that ethics word and what it means. It's all before the face of God. So whatever you want to think about what's seen, yeah, it's seen all right. And even all these, it's seen really good by him. And he's just waiting with his angels for us to be ready for him. So if you think about it real clear and you know what Revelation 2 is talking about, now we got some holes out there. Maybe intermixing with the remnant. The remnant ain't somebody that's all chosen or fancy or dresses nice or even has a big missionary thing. Because that might all not be nice. Because sometimes you got to think about those Indians out there. Like all those Discovery shows used to love so dear. I have to admit, some of them, I was like, wow, look at those girls. Because I've never seen nothing like that where they could just walk around like Adam and Eve. And all they did was cover that little spot right there. And they walk around like nothing. And you know, they always had enough food. Those hunters, but I tell you, they could run. But I think, those hunters, when they were out there, they weren't just trusting in themselves. They're crying out to that king. They knew he was up there somewhere. They might not have read all our doctrinal fancy books, but I don't think they needed to. Because they saw that meat come around when they were trying to feed the whole tribe there. And boom, here comes that deer. Ooh, wee, tasty too. Well, he probably said thanks in his way to that king who comes someday. And probably he's ready now, just as we're supposed to be, looking for that king that all knees will bow to. Because he knows that everything's got a plan. And if he's been given his meat when he needs it, he probably knows something big's coming down. And you see all these people doing all these Egyptian things from denial, which is not the river in Egypt. But it is something that the grumblers always seem to be, because they're always looking down like, I can't believe we're in this mess for 40 years. As Moses gets so stressed out that he lost himself the chance to go in. Then when he sent his two bravest ones, Joshua and Caleb, well, they came back with a plan. Let's do it. But the other guys were like, I don't know. These guys look pretty big. It's kind of like going to a UFC fight. Man, you just found out yesterday. Hey, man, I got a new fight for you. Really? Yeah, you haven't fought yet. No. You've been doing training? Not really. All right, let's go. Because, see, that's not the way to prepare for those kind of fights. I mean, it'll do a lot for the other guy. Make him feel quite bright. But if you're not ready, you don't know what you're doing, and you haven't trained well, then you're going to be in a ruin. And right now, if you ain't on the king's boat, that's going to be ruined. So it's not time to play around, try to look around and see this looks good. No. Let's get on the king's team, because his kingdom come. His will be done. And you know that Indian out there? When he bows down, king might make him governor of that whole tribe out there, Gotta think like that. Because if you're looking at the golden rule, what it's all about, should be about getting our head on right. And making some gold. Because during these times, that's where you're supposed to be like a warrior and deny the prince. Because warriors for the king are on the winning team, and the princes, well, they've been playing tricks for a while. But spiritual Las Vegas is not the place to go, because those crap tables that were telling you that Jesus is a show, well, the Jesus I never knew, it's not just the name of a book, but it's going to be the name a lot of people are going to find out about when he comes with his book. This book says who's in that book of life and who's not. And it's not time to play games like shell games, like, oh yeah, I bet I'm in that. No, that's the kind of crap you don't want to play. So as these times get a little crazy, and the shell games get a little wild, just look for the king. Live on less, and get your heart right with him.